sometimes your boys would outrank your wife.
Yeah.
Because the feeling of camaraderie that you experience when, like, you're just chilling and having a beer and stuff like that, and then you go home, it's not the same. And this is why it's important to be friends with your significant others.
100%, yeah.
So you see, eros, filial friendship, and then now agape. For those of us who are believers, it's
The love to God, yeah. This is
God's
how
love
God's
to
love
us.
to us. And another way around as well, because it's a twist, yeah.
Who is a friend? I mean, this is one way to look at it.
Jesus is my friend. What a friend we have in Jesus.
Amen. But seriously though, is it someone I'm constantly calling? I mean, a friend is what? Hi guys, welcome back to More to Follow podcast. I will allow my co-host to introduce themselves.
Owen, as always.
My moniker of the day is I am a representation of the Makonde people. If you look at a lot of the curios and whatever do they call it? Curio stands. There's another word for these things. The artifacts.
Yeah.
That we see a lot of them. They're sort of, they get a lot of influence from the Makonde, and them they are Bantu. They are prevalent southern Tanzania, northern Mozambique, a bit of Malawi as well. So yeah, Makonde.
And I am Kori, just Kori for this episode. I would like us to talk a bit more about friendships. How long have you guys been friends, by the way?
Physically, 4 years.
Is there any other form?
Sorry, you need to put some gravitas.
Eh.
We're approaching half a decade of friendship.
Yes. Fine. Physically.
What do you mean by that?
Exactly.
I'm
It was
getting
like,
to it. In
okay.
spirit, a few lifetimes.
Oh. Okay.
By physically, it means like the first time we saw each other.
And then it just clicked. I'm like, this is how did you guys become friends?
Kindred spirit.
Okay.
Same madness. Similar madness.
No,
Paint the
most
story.
definitely. Like
It's just madness.
I complimented his
Shorts.
shoes.
Yeah. No, shoes was the second conversation. It's all about shorts. Because you remember you dropped your contract in shorts.
Yeah.
Then you can do a story like Kizungu Mingi and stuff. And then I think now where we clicked is he spoke about my shoes. So I was trying to get the same, a bigger size of shoes for him. And that's how we started speaking. And then from there, it was like, it was practically insane. And as that we were not friends, we had a lot of people who knew each other. We did a lot of things together.
Like we've always
for the life of
been.
me-
Let me
one
take you
social
back,
circle
Idogo. Could you paint
outside.
the picture? Because I'm sure so many of our listeners don't have context to what this is.
Well, we weren't painting the picture just now.
Well, you missed out on the fact that you were actually working together. At what point was he dropping his contract?
She wants us to give the
Tell
story
the
like
story.
girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no,
You're wearing a blue suit.
back in 2020.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I decided I cannot no longer be broke. Then I decided to come to town. That's how girls tell stories. We both worked for a professional
Services firm.
services firm. He was in strategy, I was in audit. We were taken by the same graduate recruitment in 2021. This is shortly after you had lost him.
Oh.
Yeah, because my cousin and him went to school together. So I remember at the time he kept on asking me about Raphael. How's Raphael? So it took him 2 months to tell me why he's asking about how Raphael is. Because I'm like, hey bro, if you're really this worried, just call the dude. So then I found out why that was the case. So let's say, because I think the first time I have felt like we've been in a clique was in EY and people didn't like us. For that.
Yeah.
So we keep on mentioning Eva in retrospect. So he and Eva met the day they dropped their contract. He was in shorts. Now you can imagine you're coming for a job. This is like your first major job and you're dropping your contract in shorts.
You did this on purpose?
Yeah.
And they bonded from then, or like they knew each other from then.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
I had known the sister 5 years prior.
5 years prior. They are sister Nyamuga.
Yeah.
Shout out to both of them. So when we came and joined, for me, I was like, I love how people are so enthusiastic. They have no idea how they're about to be heavily fucked. So I remember sitting in the back of the room, I was just exhausted. So he said hi, he was in a the first time I was in a blue suit. I remember I was in the black sweater, I had just worn the lower part of the suit, the very first day. And you weren't in the maroon, I can't remember the very first day.
It was a blue suit.
It was a blue suit, you were in the blue suit. So I was like, okay, very beautiful. This guy looks like he's good. So then we hadn't spoken. Up until Agatha said she thought you were Nigerian or West African. And I'm like, what?
And his name is Karaoke.
Yeah, in Ngunjiri. So I'm like, sorry. And then I can't remember if we had a conversation on the second day of orientation. Now we bonded about shoes over, I think, tea. It was a tea break or something.
Yeah, it was a tea break.
It was a tea break. And I noticed he likes tea. He came and I told him, you're looking sharp. He's like, I've been meaning to tell you those shoes are really nice.
Okay.
So it was like that. That's how our first interaction was. And then from there, we couldn't understand how we were not friends. His family is like my family. I've met his dad, who's like my dad. I think he met all of my family. My dad is like his boy. My mom is like, my dad keeps on telling him.
Plays football with my brothers.
Yeah, plays football with my brothers. So it's that. So that's why I said, I mean, physically, it's half a decade, going on to half a decade. But in terms of spirit, I think we've been friends in previous lifetimes.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
For context, I met this guys last year. It's been a year so far, which is why I still question whether we are friends. I mean, every time I'm hosting an episode, feels like I'm doing it feels like I'm doing an interview over both of you, because there's more history here than there would
What
be.
does time have to do with anything?
Yeah.
It can, even with the body posture, with how you tell stories, he has context to most of your experiences and the stories.
Yes.
Half the time I'm just like, okay, this is the first time I'm hearing this, and he's like, oh yeah, like that time Suji who did what? I'm like, okay.
So it's more of experiences and less of the time.
100%. Okay, yeah, for sure.
But you're saying, experiences are a function all the time.
Not particularly.
Like
If we were to go to the episode where I was talking about we ignite very quickly, we can decide to love bomb each other and say next week, every single day. Oh my God, that's my phone.
No,
That's actually
fine.
yours.
It's fine. Sorry, guys. Go on.
This is very unprofessional, very unbecoming. Anyway. Mine is about to ring. Sorry in advance. Anyway. We can decide to love bomb each other and we can have experiences next week but one, next week. Yeah, so I don't think it's as much as a function of time as much as it is of intentionality.
Right? And then we had so many interests together. Like, for example, he's a professional photographer. I love photography, but I am nowhere near half as good as. But then shout out to RJ Visual. Sorry, what he does is insane. It's amazing. We play football together. He went to Strathmore, so there are a lot of things we can relate to since we both schooled in the city. We're both Catholic as well.
You see, another place I can also fault you. The only thing we do is the podcast.
No, we do other things as well.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to
gaslight
Let me ask you. Tulipatana December.
That was years ago, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, we didn't.
Hatukupatana. Tulipatana December. Jibu swali.
Hapana.
Tulipatana lini?
January.
Okay. Sawa. Na tulikuwa podcast.
Ni sawa tu.
Tulikuwa tunadu.
Nasema nasikia kani
Ilikuwa December.
I'm just
Hata
saying.
ilikuwa January.
Ninaongea, mbona
When
wewe
was
putting
this?
on the person?
Tulienda drinks bwana.
Years
Just the two of you.
ago.
Yeah, you two met in December.
Hey.
Then we all met
Okay.
in January.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No.
We have had that.
I want to ask if you have,
It's giving James and Fuhad.
Yes.
what's one thing you wish you could say to an old friend? Either one you haven't spoken to in a very long time, or one you had to actually cut off.
I've never needed to cut off any of my friends. Luckily.
You still actively have friendships with every single person you know?
No, they were never my friends. That's what I'm saying. I've never had to cut off someone I called a friend.
Oh, okay.
So you need deep.
I've never, anyone, because you see, by the time you become my friend, you're worth fighting for. That life has ups and downs. I've never cut off If I'm looking at it, I don't think I've ever cut off being my friend.
So remember one thing.
What's one thing you tell an old friend? Either someone you had to cut off or someone you've lost touch with. Keyword being old friend.
I love you. It's just
Old in
for
terms
me.
of
Okay, not
Time.
age. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another way to look at it actually. For me, mine would be I love you. Period. What's
give
yours
it-
as he's thinking? No, today it's a me.
Give it a bit
I'm
more
thinking of
flesh.
non-violent things to say.
Eh. An old friend. Ideally, there are people I've lost touch, and maybe the key thing is because it's very easy for me to form. It's becoming easier for me to form relationships because I know a bit more about myself, and I know how to be present for others. Something has taken me a long time to learn, but feel like I'm somewhere there. Because I am able to make as many friends, it becomes easier for me to keep them. First day, second day, every time for love language is quality time. So anytime it's present, I'll be here 100%. Past that, that's why the previous episode I was asking, how do you keep those friendships? Because it means you have to constantly keep investing. If you have your small circle of friends, well and good. But then what happens when it pans out of your people who are within the same vicinity? Umse wa Machakos ama sio Kimau. That's one person. Imagine if you had like 5. Someone, let's say, Ottawa, another one in Australia, and they're ideally people who could be your close friends. And that's to the level to which you connected or bonded with them. But I'm not able to keep it. Because there are also things happening in my life. I also need a bit of... There are times I need my own space. There are times I'm able to be present for others. But I can't keep... I can't spread myself thin. I can't be everywhere. And maybe the one thing is just to extend grace and then allow me to show up when I can and not necessarily every single time.
Question to that, because you see the
Are we
very
your friends?
simple. Yeah,
Am I?
Are we your friends?
I hope so.
we're asking you. How
Let
can
me
you
let me rephrase. Yes or no? Are we your friends?
Yes.
So the idea is intentionality. Yo, listen. You've both been in my life last year, right? It wasn't, or the last 2 years, it wasn't torrid. I mean, it had its ups, it had its downs, yeah? You randomly call me, yes? I randomly call you, yes?
Yes.
That's simply it. So that's what I'm telling you. Those ones where you feel like you don't have the energy to pour into it, where you're thinking about it, I don't think those people are your friends.
You don't say.
That's... Because you see, I've just
We
given
also
you...
call each other.
Yeah.
We
It's
do.
very simple. It's just that simple.
Relax.
So the people you pour into are the people you love. Because despite whatever you're going through, human beings always need that social interaction. Whether it's tea you want to give people, ama udaku, whether it's you want to complain, whether it's you want to fight, yeah, whether it's you want advice, the people who matter to you are the people you will draw down to. So it could be an old friend, but yes, like you said, old in the fact that they were there for a season. So it's something for me to tell you to look deep within and see how it is that you actually view those relationships.
Who is a friend? I mean, this is one way to look at it.
Jesus is my friend. What a friend we have in Jesus.
Amen. But seriously though, is it someone I'm constantly calling? I mean, a friend is what? What is a friend?
So you see, again, you're struggling with how the friendship looks when you're defining who is a friend. And that's where you're struggling. Remember, simply put, the easiest
Hey, look into the camera and repeat that again.
she's struggling with what a friendship looks when she's defining who is a friend. Let me give you
One more time. Look into that one as well.
guys. Who is a friend?
Who is a friend?
Anyway, let me use an example with your family members. Yeah. You guys live in the same house. This is what helps you guys stay connected. When you leave that house, just like your mom and her siblings, they don't talk all the time. But it's
That's
that
true.
bond that they've had because they lived in the same house. So, in my way, the simplest way, a friend is family who you're not related to.
So it doesn't matter when we speak. It doesn't matter when
But you
we
will
meet.
always pour into that cup. So you're looking at what a friendship looks like. But who's a friend is that person you know, no matter what. Chips up, chips down. When you're asked, you will say they're a friend. Whether you're talking once in 6 months, whether you meet once in 2 years, well, doesn't matter. Whether you have your ups and downs.
And it's okay not to pour equally to all these cups with your friends.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Is it the same case even with your close-knit group?
Um,
Do you pour
virtue
in
of-
the same with Owen and Mike?
By virtue of common interests,
yeah.
it's symbiotic. Like we'll just gel.
For me,
It becomes homogeneous.
yeah.
And-
Different interests.
And also, our effort isn't
It's not like, oh, I haven't called
Face to
Mike this
face.
week. Okay.
yeah. It's more often than not it's shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. What I was telling Rafa, and I mentioned this the other time, that I've realized all my friends, I'm in groups with them. It's fascinating.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Except for like 2 or 3 people. So it's easy, like for like me, Mike, Biko. It becomes that much easier to pour into this one cup because you're like you said,
We are
shoulder
all
to shoulder.
there.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, Rafael is having a hard week, or I'm curious about Rafael, and then I'd be like, how is everyone? You see, so I'm getting things I did not think about. So that for me has really, really helped, and I think that's how the group was formed because
Yeah.
you're like, he couldn't tell the same story 4 times, and like, 3 times was tired. So I was like, why are we doing this? And just like that. So that's how it goes. And yeah, you pour different things or differently into different friendships.
Are you saying that's a secret? Form groups with your friends?
No, the
On
secret
WhatsApp.
is being intentional. It's because we're all intentional people.
Fair enough.
So the secret is within. You have to look within. Because this is something you need to give into. You know, that's why I keep on telling you that the reason you're finding friendships hard is because you know your family, your spouse, your person.
To be honest, not all of them. It's just some. I've had situations where I've lost friends because I don't call them enough. And the expectation there was that I'd be the type to call every other week. Even my close-knit friends, I don't call them on a weekly
And that's
basis.
fine. But you see, they communicated a need.
They did, which I was
And-
not able to meet.
and that's fine.
Does it make me
A
not
bad
a
friend.
friend?
I don't think so.
You see, you're looking at it. This is what we're talking about. Remember, I was telling you we're talking about that hyper individualism. They were talking about something they need. You looked at who you are. You made it about you more so than what the friendship is.
There we go.
So the choice at the end of the day was, can you be able to give this? Is it a heavy thing of the friendship? Or can the friendship survive? Is it a non-reducible for the friendship or not? But because you felt some type of way, you pull back. So, and you only pull back because I genuinely don't think you consider it as a friend. Because if any friend of yours complained, you'd actually say that. You're not lost for friends.
I don't agree, but
Fair
okay.
enough?
What would be your one thing you tell an old friend?
Shit, that was a question. Damn.
I don't know how I've gotten into all of this.
Forgotten the question completely.
Also, what do you mean you're looking for something that's non-violent? Your breakups, quote unquote, have been violent.
No, I've had people I've considered friends, but not my friends. So I'd point to
Oh, yeah,
spaces
yeah,
that would take from me.
Yeah. I think we have that in common.
Actually, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you should be here.
yeah.
It
Thank
reminded
you.
me of the 3 things I say to anyone I've not been, anyone I've split with. I say 3 things all the time. Ask me about an ex, ask me about someone I thought would be friends, ask me about whatever. It's, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, period. So, is that the second one?
For me, it will be thank you and I'm sorry, not I love me, I don't love you. Not all okay, I've said it with Mafinho, but it's not Mafinho, it's just like, it's a statement of fact. I don't. Yeah, but there was a question about what is a friend?
Who is a friend?
Who is a friend? Someone who you experience filial love with. And filial love in this context, I'm thinking about, and I've talked about this, I think it was the last season. Agape, storge, philia, eros. Okay, that's not how it's ranked. It's storge, which is the love because your siblings came from the same place. Eros,
Eros, yeah.
which has become a bit
It's been very fluid and very lucid.
philia, and then agape. Agape gives birth to Philia. Philia gives birth to Eros. Eros gives birth to Storge. And then the cycle continues.
Do you want to give context, like what?
Storge is the love between people who are in the same family, siblings, and what.
Cousins.
So it's sometimes not even cousins because maybe you don't interact as much, depending on the family setting. You could find your parents and their parents, they never agreed, so there's a rift that comes out of that. Eros originally was love between man and woman, but now it's been proliferated. It's been perverse. So now it's like when you hear Eros, you just think erotic. And if you look at the majority of the relationships, actually the best way to think about this is if you look at the sculptures, Greek mythology and stuff like that, the moment Eros changed and shame started being attached to it, they started covering, the genitalia of those statues with leaves.
Oh
Yeah, because originally it was just there for everybody to see. So now that's Eros, a bit about Eros. And then Philia is the highest form, in my opinion, of human love, like love human beings can experience with one another. You think about, and this is something that Ram used to say, sometimes your boys would outrank your wife.
Yeah.
Because the feeling of camaraderie that you experience when, like, you're just chilling and having a beer and stuff like that, and then you go home, it's not the same. And this is why it's important to be friends with your significant others.
100%, yeah.
So you see, Eros, filial friendship. And then now agape, for those of us who are believers, it's
Love to God, yeah. That's the
God's
highest
love
form. That
to
was
us.
love to
Yeah.
us. And another way around as well, because it's
Yeah.
opposite, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you?
What is a
considering?
friend?
Who is a friend? What is a
Who
friend?
is a friend?
And what was the
They
conclusion
fall
to
under that
that?
bracket of filial love.
What am I supposed to do with this friend?
Again, you're asking very many different questions. What the friendship looks like. And
What
who's
are
a
you-
friend.
when-
I
what
want to
it
know,
has to
who
be-
do you consider a friend?
Someone he has the experience
Filial
of filial
love.
love with.
Period.
So I think you should be answering that question. Who do you consider a friend? And what is a friend? Because you keep on interchanging the same two things.
Between who and what
Yeah.
a friend is.
Like what friendship means for you, or how friendship is run. I think that's where your struggle is. Who's a friend?
The struggle
who and-
for me is because I've found different metrics with different people.
Exactly. But they're all your friends. So who is
They
the person?
are my friends,
Exactly.
but based on their standards, qualifications, I don't probably meet that. So I've had to lose friends in the because of that. I'm
So
not
you-
able to match up to what they need me to be able to do
So
constantly.
again, like you said, they're your friend. It's how you pour into the friendship that's the one of contention.
That's your definition.
That's
like
your
I'm saying a lot
definition.
of what it is that
Yeah,
we're
what
doing.
it is and who the person is.
Maybe the other question would be: at what point are you able to tell when to fight for these friendships, and at what point are you supposed to let them go? At what point is it like there are certain people you need to stop pushing to have in your life and just let things be?
Cancel culture. If there's no purpose of amendment, then you're not you're banning yourself to keep someone warm. They're taking. That's not filial love.
My outlook on life, funniest thing is, I don't believe you ever stop loving anyone you love. Friend, family, or significant other. You can always pour back into that. So even when you cancel something, you can always rekindle, you can always burn the fire again. It's so to speak, when I look at love, it's just how, like you said, believer, when we're looking at the agape love, it's how you can be sinful or how you can stray away and and God will always be waiting for you to come back. Similarly so. Even
Fair enough.
yes, that's my outlook on love. So even when
His mercy is everlasting.
yes, even when that love is everlasting. Because that love is that higher power that's just beyond the two of us. Those things we can't, like for the life of me, why is it that we love one another? Can't tell it, but we've got us loving one another. All born into the same family. We chose to be here. I mean, we've had our ups and downs. So you can always feel like counseling
Sorry. I just remember those downs and I'm like,
Yeah. Which is funny because I didn't even have anything to do that's advantage, but it's okay. But are you seeing what it is that I'm trying to say? Like it comes from, for me, and there's no point to cancel or fight for something. Because all of these things are based on feeling. You can be fighting for it today, you can cancel it tomorrow, you're fighting for it after 10 days.
based on?
Feeling. Look at when you're fighting for things, it's because they poured into the cup of your friendship and you feel your love is at a high. When you're canceling someone, it's because that feel your love is at a low. Give it take.
Okay, I've recently had an experience where I've had to walk away from certain friendships that weren't serving me. I don't think at that point my filial love was low. I think it was draining from other friendships that I was pouring into.
Okay.
Because I do not have eternal capacity when it comes to mercy and forgiveness.
Also, you're a human being.
Yeah, because I'm a human being, it's a bit finite when it comes to me. So because it's a finite resource and it's coming at the expense of other friendships, I had to step back. Because there was too much hurt that I was experiencing there.
Okay.
And as a result, I couldn't comfortably and in a non-projecting manner come to these other people and also point to that same cut the same way that I would in this other side. So I had to cut, and it was honestly very difficult. And you see, for me, no, I'll not expose myself like that. But if you come and you apologize and you show a purpose of amendment, like I'm willing to give you a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance.
And exactly my point. Because the question would be, if this person, right now you've cancelled this person, or you took this person out of your life, this person comes to you with amendments, showcase that they have changed. That person, I'm telling you, I don't think
you never stop loving.
You never stop loving the people. And it comes from, it's just that simple. And that's my outlook on life.
I also asked because now I'm also realizing where the struggle is. I said it's very easy for me to make friends. It becomes difficult to keep them.
Yeah, that's a universal phenomenon.
I am in a situation. There's someone who, if there's anything I don't like, it's gossip. I'll tell you one thing and I hear travel all the way to Moses. What are you doing?
Pouring from an empty cup.
I just fell into that one.
Yeah.
I've had to in the last year, I've had to walk away from like 2 friendships where it becomes difficult to demand for even more. If your thing, if how you operate it's how you make friends as well. You're the type to go talk behind my back to other people. I'll tell you one thing, go tell something else. And there is potential to be good friends. Just, I can't make you be better. And even if, word of mouth, they're like, I'm so sorry, it's not even I'm going to change. I didn't realize that hurt you. And then you move on to do the same thing. And not even with me, but with other people. And I see the same pattern, something that could ideally come back and hurt me in return. I wish there's a way I can you've said so many times women like to, not so many times, you've said women like to sit in the mud. Sit in their feelings.
We're more solution oriented, yeah.
I did try that once. It has worked out for a couple of my friendship, but then the minute you call someone out, I think they just cowered a bit more. And I'm like, you know what? I won't be as forthright as they were before. So they'll notice this is where not to press you, but it's not to say they won't do it. And now it becomes a question of their character, not necessarily. They become more quiet with me, but the trait is still present with everyone else in the situation. Wallahi.
You see what's happening? Yeah. She's going a more objective route about these things,
which is fine.
And us, we're still resting in the subjective, which is different from the dynamic that exists here.
Which is this is the first time.
This is a monumental moment.
Similarly, so see what you're experiencing.
100%.
And how you started the friendship talk. What you're experiencing with the people you've cut off is exactly what they were experiencing when they were telling you you're not pouring enough into the friendship. On one side, you're a victim. On the other side, you're expecting them to understand. So like I said, it starts with looking within. Remember when she was saying she's walked away because she wasn't pouring into the friendship the same way? They weren't pouring into the friendship your same way.
Nah, those people are just evil. If you're talking behind my
like
back,
it's not even-
yeah. No, that one. I think that one is a bit different. There,
No. When she was talking about
It's
how
not
you
even-
call
it's just how
someone
they've
out
been-
and then they revert. You call someone out and then they revert.
It's not evil. I think it's a matter of how they've been socialized. This is something they've been doing. When they go for family gatherings, that's exactly what the answer as well would be doing.
Can I ask you a question?
Ask.
Someone who's used to raping people,
Is
it evil?
That is evil, man.
but that's how they've been socialized, so it's still evil.
Okay.
Thanks.
In this case, there's.
Sorry, it was a wild story
I think-
to land the point.
You remember, when we talk about the episode on red flags, and I said we're so quick to call someone out, like you're a red flag. You're.
That is a
What's a
red
good-
flag.
You're not communicating. Oh, they are actually. But what was the stance we said? Do you need to correct this person? Do you stay there hoping it gets better, and then your work is helping them with a reform, or are you looking for someone who's complete and that? Oh no, I don't have any bad traits. I'm your friend because I'm not a bad person.
There's no formula to life. It's all of it. There's times where you stay, there are times where you want a complete person. Because you also have different stages in your life. We're not, like we said, we're human beings. We have so many shortcomings. We have
100%.
Yeah, so there's no formula to life at any given point in time.
I was hoping this discussion, like now we'll tell you guys, this is exactly what you need to do to have good friends in your life
No, there's nothing
and
like
how
that.
to keep them.
Because
No, I'm sure they've picked up something.
yeah,
Hopefully.
because what works for you right now
Most
will
have you
work
picked
for
up
you in 2 or
something?
3, 5 years. So
Have you picked up something?
just the reason we're laughing is
Immediate
'cause she's
feedback.
she's nodded, she's not picked up anything.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know why, but first, what do you guys think?
Sorry. May I want to know why she's not picked up anything. Come, tell us. This has never been done before on
Yeah.
set. We have a guest who's just come. What's her name? Priyanka?
No, okay.
Okay. Introduce yourself for the people.
Just a bit. There is Ella.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, okay. Chenika, I wonder what's our YouTube. How much is 50-50?
Hi guys, so I'm Stacy. I was in the background, and I think they've left me more confused than I was from the start.
Fair enough.
Because I also struggle as Corey to keep friends. Yeah, because I want you to call them all the time. Also, because I'm an introvert, people like exploring, going out, doing whatnot, and I like staying home most of the time. So they take it as a sign of I don't want to spend time with them. So I'm more confused than answered.
Then answered, yeah.
For her, a friend would be someone who understands that being introverted is your nature. Anyone who doesn't understand, because you see, even friendships have that trying period. So those ones who left your life, clearly you weren't meant to be in your life. The people who are in your life for a reason, a season, and for a lifetime. So people who don't take that fact that she's an introvert, I mean, they have no space in your life. The same way you have exes. Yeah, you tried, you failed, you tried, you became different people, you evolved into other people. That's okay.
So in
not
her
everything.
situation, her friends would be those that make room
Yes.
for her to be an extrovert
Yes.
and still count on her
Yes.
to
The
show
same way
up
she makes room for her extroverted friends.
when they need to go out.
Exactly.
You guys can
I
go
mean,
out
it's not
without
that
me
she
feeling
never
bad.
goes out. She does show up here and now. So yeah, it's just that simple.
Oy, oy, oy.
Same way if I'm a vegan and you're having a cookout, you'll have vegan options for me, no?
Yes.
Is that accommodation?
Do you
And if
feel
you
like
have a cookout, you'll have meat options for
Yeah.
you. It's just that simple.
with the people you consider your friends, have you seen them making room for you in that sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that
Have
offer
you
a bit
had
of
to make
clarity?
room?
Does that offer a bit of clarity?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Have you had to make room for any of your friends?
Yeah, there's some who I had to cut off because now they make you feel like you're abnormal or
Exactly.
something.
You see?
Yeah.
And that's okay. Maybe they couldn't fathom that in that point in their lives, and you couldn't fathom, and that's all right. It's a part of life. So yeah, does that offer some clarity?
How do you go about its reparation? How do you go about mending one where there's a situation that the case I'll give is there's information I shared with this person that went beyond the both of us, got to someone else, and then it became a bigger thing. What hurt was the fact that I told you about it and I had it in someone else's mouth and it came to bite me in the ass. How would you confront the situation without it? And it's a pattern. Like, I think it's just their way of going about things, but I'm not the type to share and hoping.
If I'm going to be the canonic experience in your life that makes it easier for other people to experience you, that makes it that, you know, this generational curses that we talk about, you know, down the entire lineage, you'll be the first person who does not gossip, who does not entertain gossip in their household because of something I'm going to tell you. I'm doing good. I'm impacting one life. It might impact 1,000 more. That's fantastic. So the first step is an examination of conscience. Like, I will come directly to you and I'll tell you, I'm not telling you these things so that you respond now. We can have a discussion later. But A, B, C, D. You're doing these things. Please just have some time, think about them, come and tell me where it is. And that little dance of, you know, giving them room also to express themselves. You know, maybe they've actually never thought about it and why it is that they do what it is that they do. Let them express themselves. Tell them, come tell me why is this a problem? So you step out of yourself and you allow that room. You create that room for them to talk about it. There needs to be contrition. There needs to be sorrow for whatever it is that has happened. And then the purpose of amendment. So you come and you say, okay, kwetu maanti wote wanakuanga na udaku sana. Na inakuwa ngumu niende huko because you're a social being. You'll try to be homogeneous with your environment, with the circumstances. Sort of why peer pressure works, because like you don't want to be the outcast. Even in the animal kingdom, animals work better in communities. Zebras, lions, okay, lions is a bit of a stretch, but yeah, elephants, giraffes, all of these guys, it's all together. So you want to blend in. And they'll come and they'll be like, okay, it's gonna be difficult, but in this case, for you, I'll make that effort, at least in this friendship. Maybe they'll create that room like she was talking about. Then the purpose of amendment, you as a person who's been aggrieved, and now, you as a person who's been aggrieved, you need to create that room for them to make a mistake. Because this person is undoing 2-3 decades
okay.
of knowledge. It's not going to come over.
It's not instantaneous. It doesn't happen overnight, sorry.
You need to create that room. You'll be like, okay, sawa. And be soft about your correction. In all things, charity and love.
And this applies even to relationships.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to stay for the entire episode, or you want to go see? I don't know. Maybe the last thing.
Makofia Stacy.
Makofia Stacy. Maybe the other. To conclude this episode, I'd want to ask, what should someone's take out from this be? I could be struggling with a friend, could be struggling to make friends as well, could be struggling to keep them, or could also be struggling how to confront your friends. Like, how do you become a better friend as well to your people?
I'll borrow something he said. Everything boils down to the examination of conscience.
Oh, when unajiita meeting.
Yes.
Are we on the right
That's
track?
how you give better. That's how you understand what you're lacking. That's how you communicate charity and love. Eh? That's how you communicate with affection.
Yeah.
So if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work as well. Like, using your example, for example, you've told this friend, you've tried to give it out, you had to examine your conscience, sit down with yourself, look at, okay, I don't like this character flaw. How heavy does it affect me? Does it have me thinking that I need to consider this friendship? And if it's heavy enough to, then I need to walk away from it. But are those character flaws where you have no issue, you don't like it, or it doesn't sit well with you, but it's not heavy for your big.
Like you dance around it.
You dance around. So it's an examination of conscience.
I'll be honest, guys, this friendship is a lot of work. And by this, I mean this one. Because a lot of internal work in such a short time.
For the better, no?
But for the better part of me.
As I said, kama ni mimi naokoa hiyo
Yeah.
entire lineage, ni sawa.
It's all right.
Ni sawa. It is well.
Burden's there.
And your bit,
My what?
parting shot.
My parting shot. Mtuambia story ya live kama nataka kama mtaki. Hiyo ndio nitashinda nikisema. Mimi hata sina kitu kingine. Hadi next episode nitasema tu hiyo.
We want to make your friendship
Yeah, we want to meet you guys,
Okay,
by
yeah.
the way. Like, genuinely, we would want to meet you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode. There is more to follow.